No justice! No justice! No justice! I can't hear y'all. No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! We want them to hear us in the courtroom, don't we? No justice! No justice! No justice!
Brother Sean Bell last year was on his way to, was actually hanging out with his friends and family the night before his wedding.
He went to the Kalulu bar, which is not too far from here in Jamaica, Queens, and he was leaving the club and
was targeted by a few undercover police officers who overheard some statement about them potentially having a weapon on them. And so these police officers followed them outside and pulled their weapons on Sean Bell, Trent Benefield, and Joseph Guzman.
They were followed out of a club and gunned down with 50 shots. Sean Bell passed away. He got murdered. His friends were injured.
out of the 50 shots, 10 of the shots actually hit the car, so the cops were just recklessly shooting into the air.
Some of the shots hit a train station overpass, wild gunfire.
Michael Oliver shot 38 times.
That's what I know. And today, well, the judge acquitted the 3 detectives that were on trial.
Not guilty of manslaughter, not guilty of murder.
I hope y'all are disgusting. Because you know what it means when we're not disgusted? That we're too used to this. So we have to be angry.
We're coming out because this is an unjust thing that was done not only to Sean Bell, but to the entire community of every color, of every class, of every religion, of every piece of this city.
The Sean Bell verdict is yet another example of the justice that Black and Latin people receive, not only in the city, but in the United States as a whole.
There was only a judge appointed to the case. There was no jury. And I think that to a large extent, the New York City Police Department wanted to protect these officers, spent nearly $1 million to represent them in court of taxpayers' money, and made it their point to have a judge that's sympathetic to the police.
I think the judge is a part of a system, right? The judge is a part of a system. He is charged with meting out justice that isn't meant to keep anyone accountable, right? So, I mean, even his performance in court was crazy. I mean, he was completely siding with the police officers. He clearly had a bias in his verdict and his ruling. Even in the courtroom, the vibe in the courtroom was clearly that the system was on the side of these police.
It was like homeboys. It was like the police homeboys in the courtroom giving themselves high fives after what they got, you know?
Yeah, I think that was definitely a setup to allow for the judicial system to give the cops a free ride, a ticket out of jail. I think if we had a jury that was reflective of the population of where the court is based, I think the verdict would have been different.
You know, the verdict, it really symbolized a great deal of things for us. What it means is that we have no justice under this system. And the police, they were given a sign that it's okay to discharge 50 bullets at a car before even seeing a weapon. So it's easy to justify such an extent of brutal force.
But you have to see that it's not just about the judge as a person. It's a system in larger part that isn't meant to keep us safe at all.
The fact that the police have the right to waive a jury, the fact that they're granted this right alone speaks to the inequality that exists in the penal system. Would a Black and Latin working poor person have the same right to decide what kind of a trial they are to face once they are charged? No. You know, the police chose to have a judge instead of a jury simply for one reason: to minimize the risk of having the popular sentiment expressed in the courts.
I recognize that there's Sean Bells in New York, Brooklyn, it's everywhere. It's not just an isolated incident, it's not the first time. We see Sean Bells in my neighborhood all the time. We just, we don't have 50 shots, but there's still 5 shots or it's 4 shots, and it's reckless. It's reckless to the whole community.
They say get back! 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 Justice now! What do we
The police got off too easy. He was killed and no police were arrested. I hated the verdict.
His wife had been waiting so long to get a verdict, and now they just saying that, oh, they let free, they not guilty, so I was really upset about that. I think that they should have been some justice served, being that he had nothing to do with anything that happened, he wasn't doing anything wrong, and he was about to get married the next day.
I should be thrown in jail because they committed murder and it got off too easy. Justice was not served.
I personally don't know who the real criminal is. I can't point the finger. I personally don't do that. I don't point the finger. I never, I can't say who's a bad guy, who's a good guy. I can't. I wasn't there.
It was 50 shots, to reiterate. So 100 shots, 200 shots, 50 is excessive enough, there's no reason for that. So, if not at 50, will it be served at 100? It's really no difference. I know. No, I don't think it'll be served.
Well, the way I feel about the Sean Bell verdict is that I feel that it was an unjust verdict, and I think that it sets an example that now cops can do whatever they want, because this young person was murdered in cold blood by the NYPD, and it just follows a tradition of violence against minorities here in the city.